Listen to Alfred.
Dorset Council staff are now working on detailed proposals for a new road to divert extra traffic from Shaftesbury. When and if new estates are developed as part of the approved plans for Gillingham's southern extension, there's likely to be extra pressure on Shaftesbury's roads. That's why project engineer Emma Baker and her colleagues in the highway improvement team of Dorset Council are planning this new route for drivers.
With the housing developments that are proposed over the coming years, we're looking at 2,000 new properties being built. The increase in traffic from that on the B3081 and on the A30, it is not suitable to be going through Shaftesbury as it does now.
Emma says that New Road, which flows under the A30 overpass, and also Bleak Street, won't be able to cope with those additional volumes trying to access the A30 or A350 at the Ivy Cross roundabout.
So we're looking at creating this link between the two main roads to reduce the amount of traffic that needs to go into Shaftesbury and along New Road.
Emma says the new Enmore Green Link Road's route is fairly fixed. It would leave the B3081 Shaftesbury Road between the Old Brickyard Farm and Hawkers Hill Farm, opposite the electricity substation. It would cut across the fields and join the A30 near Long Cross to the west of the turnoff for New Road. The Highways team has been given money by the EU-funded Dorset LEP to pay for their detailed planning.
We've been awarded £200,000 to design the scheme. The scheme will be at a point where it's ready to submit for planning, and when we got funding available to build.
Until Emma's team finish this design project, they don't know how much the link road will cost.
We don't have that figure yet because we are still in the design process.
Emma says you can't estimate how much a new road would cost to build per metre, for instance. There are many variables.
Not at all. It very much depends on the ground conditions, what sort of drainage you require, the ground levels, how much you need to dig out, how much you need to fill to bring the levels up to where you need it.
And Emma says the project requires work with other teams within the local authority.
We've been working really closely with our landscape officers and ecology team to basically get a route that suits both of their requirements, as well as sort of mitigating as much of the sort of impacts as possible.
Is it fair to say, though, if there was something really, really unique and special, your team would have flagged that up at this point?
Yes, very much so. The road would have to go through planning, which will require environmental statements to be undertaken, which looks at all the aspects of how the road will affect the local area, so ecology, environmental issues, archaeology, noise, traffic surveys. Sometimes
new link roads can become boundaries for housing expansion. If that happened with this proposed road, then many residents might be concerned that Enmore Green's rural identity could be lost. Emma says she knows of no plans for housing to be built alongside this new highway.
The proposals for this link road is that it will be a link road. In terms of the future, I'm not aware of anything. That would be something that would be dealt with by our sort of planning department.
Do you get a feel when this may eventually be built? Is it kind of a 5-year project or 10 years, or is it going to be in the next year or so?
I wouldn't imagine it's going to be in the next year or so. We are not currently aware of any pots of money that we'd be able to bid for this scheme at this stage. So timescales-wise are very much unknown. So it could be in the next few years, it could be 10 years down the line. We just don't know at this stage. But what we want to have is a scheme that is we have an accurate cost estimate for and is at a point where it's designed, sort of the detailed design is nearly complete, that we can take it through the planning process. So it actually speeds up the potential delivery of actually getting this scheme on the ground, rather than starting from scratch when a pot of money became available.
So to put this into context finally then, do you have other schemes which are worked up and ready to go around Dorset in a similar position that, should funding be available, they're, if you like, oven ready to start?
No, that is a very unusual position for us to be in. To have a scheme that's up and ready to go. It's normally that we get a pot of money and then design a scheme from there. We have a lot of schemes on our priority list of what we'd like to do, but they're not at a point where they've been designed for an improvement has been designed. The design of this scheme is actually quite a special case in which we're able to put some money forward to be able to get it to a point that we're ready to have it built should the money come available.
And there's nothing for members of the public to do at this juncture because, from what you've said, there will be opportunities further down the line for feedback. Correct. Consultation.
Exactly, that is exactly right. We do have some information on our scheme webpage for the Gillingham Road and Transport improvements on Dorset Council's webpage, and there is some information, a small bit of information, which shows the potential route that the link road will take.
And you can find a link to that plan if you go to thisisalfred.com.
Listen to Alfred.